There's no fucking way, bro. I barely found out that these hoes right here, I already opened it a little bit, but this one right here, bro, is generation 4. Let me go ahead and show you it. I'm gonna make a video on how to know if your cake is a generation 4. Stay tuned for that video. Honestly, I really wanted to try this one, bro, because it says like the CBG is really high, and the CBG, it helps you for like pain and shit like that, you know. It's the same shit as the generation 3s, bro. Generation 5 video drops really soon. Stay tuned for that hoe. This hoe kind of wants to taste like maybe like some diesel and shit. Hold on. This hoe definitely tastes like some wheat. And you can definitely tell, bro, that this is not a sativa. The guava one, bro, it wasn't like hitting me as hard on my chest or shit. This hoe, bro, you can like definitely tell that it's like it's a heavy high, and it's like whatever strain this was, bro, it was some gas type shit. I actually rock with this one, bro. I don't like the cake that like does it taste like flavor. I don't like that. I like weed, bro. I like dabs. I like the flavor of the strain that I'm smoking, not just like chemicals mixed in to make some type of flavor type shit, you know. I'm used to like the old shit. I started smoking Reggie, bro. A lot of people are on that shit, you know. How many people started smoking Reggie before they started smoking gas, bro? Imagine all the people that started smoking carts before they even smoked anything, bro. I know a lot of people are like that. Wow. And the gas monkey, I recommend it. It kind of wants to taste like mint, bro. After you let it out, bro, you can taste wet. Snuck up in the club with my Glock in. Make a wrong move and we poppin'. You can fly high, man, poppin'. I can count up a check and don't even gotta flex because getting this money I'm used to. I know niggas is made to booth, niggas. Check his background every time that we recruit, niggas. Ops clicking up, got me laughing like that's cute, nigga. I ain't tryna brag, but the niggas can't get rid of us. All that tough act, really pussy you a clitoris. If I didn't rap, put a strap, make you give it up. You ain't got no bag up, check you got with stimulus. Running to the money in these doors, I go faster. I just want some peace, something that. But y'all like inhale it and keep it in. During the podcast, bro, I just woke up from a weed nap. Literally, bro, this shit got my ass asleep, bro, for real. If you like hit this hole one time, bro, to the point where like you can't hit this hole no more, you know, like you try to blink it, bro, that shit will get you stoned, bro. Like just keep it in, that shit will get you high as fuck. Well, at least this one, the gas monkey, it does get you high as hell. So this hole right here, bro, it does get you really high, it gets you sleepy, all of that, bro. I give this shit like a number 7 or something, honestly, because I fuck with the cake cards, bro, but at the same time they're like black market. This hole don't taste bad, though. It don't have too much flavor. It does have the flavor of weed and shit. As I'm doing this video and shit, bro, all this YSL shit is going on, bro. They just released GUNNA yesterday.
I became affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
YSL is a music label and a gang, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped the vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrocodone, methamphetamines, and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you acknowledge the following statement? I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL the gang to the detriment of my community. YSL as a gang must end. Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes.
Within the past 45 minutes, Atlanta rapper GUNNA walked out of the Fulton County Jail. The rapper, whose real name is Sergio Kitchens, entered a negotiated guilty plea, what's known as an Alford plea, allowing him to also maintain his innocence. GUNNA was in jail on racketeering and conspiracy charges, part of a large gang indictment that includes rapper Young Thug and other alleged members of YSL or Young Slime Life gang. And also today, alleged YSL co-founder Walter Murphy negotiated a guilty plea in the RICO indictment ahead of the trial scheduled to start next month. New at 6, Channel 2's Mark Winnie is live at the Fulton County Jail with what all of this means today. Mark.
Yeah, some big stuff said in court today. We got wind that something was going on in the YSL case, hustled down to the courthouse, got there in time. I shot the hearing on my iPhone. It is a major, major development in a major case.
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
That Sergio Kitchens, perhaps better known as music star GUNNA, was gonna get out of jail soon seemed apparent early in the hearing as Fulton County Deputy District Attorney Adrian Love went through the sentence that would be recommended.
5 years to serve 1, commuted to time served, balance suspended. And the parties agree that upon completion of the special conditions that I will enumerate, the suspended sentence will terminate by consent order.
The Fulton County District Attorney's Office says GUNNA pled guilty to the single count he faced in a sprawling indictment focused on the alleged criminal street gang YSL against him and more than 24 others. Conspiracy to violate the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. The guilty plea entered as what's called an Alford plea, where a defendant doesn't admit he committed the crime but acknowledges it's in his best interest to plead guilty.
If called by any party in this case, you will testify truthfully, but reserve any Fifth Amendment rights or privileges against self-incrimination. You agree to perform 500 hours of community service, a substantial portion of which will require that you speak to young men and women about the hazards and immortality of gangs and gang violence, and the decay that it causes our communities.
A Sergio Kitchens press statement suggests in the case of his Alford plea, he's, quote, maintaining my innocence toward the same charge, unquote. It says, while I've agreed to always be truthful, I want to make it perfectly clear that I have not made any statements, have not been interviewed, have not cooperated, have not agreed to testify or be a witness for or against any party in the case, and have absolutely no intention of being involved in the trial process in any way. In court, some startling statements.
Please state after each statement whether or not you agree or acknowledge that statements are truthful, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I became affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
YSL is a music label and a gang, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped a vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrocodone, methamphetamines, and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you acknowledge the following statement? I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL the gang to the detriment of my community. YSL as a gang must end. Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes.
A YSL indictment includes Jeffrey Williams, a.k.a. Young Thug.
Deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL the gang to the detriment of my community. YSL as a gang must end. Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes.
A YSL indictment includes Jeffrey Williams, a.k.a. Young Thug. His attorney, Brian Steele, has said,
Mr. Williams committed no crime.
Judge Ural Glanville.
I find that your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I find no factual basis for your plea, and I'm going to accept your plea as tendered and as negotiated.
Now, Jacoby Hudson, defense attorney for YSL case defendant Walter Murphy, confirms that late Tuesday, Murphy pled guilty to a racketeering conspiracy count and has been released from the Fulton County Jail already. Hudson says Murphy will not testify about the conduct of any other individual defendants. Hudson indicated how Murphy changed his life after he got out of prison was a major factor in the deal.
As a result, Gunna was sentenced to 5 years, with the 1 year he spent in jail counting his time served. The remaining 4 years, which would normally be served in prison, has surprisingly been suspended with special conditions. Gunna has agreed that if he is called on by any party within the case, he will testify truthfully and reserve his right to assert his Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination. This means Gunna will have to testify if asked to, but he may plead the Fifth to avoid incriminating himself. Gunna also agrees to perform 500 hours of community service with the completion of at least 350 hours. A substantial portion will require Gunna speaks to young men and women about the hazards and immorality of gangs and gang violence and the decay that it causes in the community. The final special conditions are Gunna shall not possess guns or commit any criminal acts. It has been agreed by the courts upon completion of his community service, the remainder of Gunna's 4-year sentence will be terminated by the courts, meaning once Gunna's done preaching to the youth, he's free to go. But if he doesn't abide by these special conditions, including testifying if asked to, Gunna will be sent to prison to serve the remainder of his sentence. Now these conditions resemble T.I.'s infamous federal case.
That shit is so fucking crazy.
First look at an Atlanta rapper accused of gang activity. Jeffrey Williams, better known as Young Thug, is appearing in person before a judge for the first time since being arrested earlier this year.
Williams is accused of committing criminal acts in a gang known as Young Slime Life. Our Joe Ripley was in the courtroom today following the proceedings. Joe, what can you tell us about what you learned?
Hey, good evening, Ron. Jennifer, first off, this hearing was delayed nearly 5 hours due to technical issues across Fulton County. And then there was a change in courtrooms. Eventually, we did get a glimpse of Jeffrey Williams, a man known as Young Thug, entering the courtroom with confidence, even smiling at dozens of his friends and family there in support as he walked in. Williams is one of 28 people accused of gang-related charges handed down by Fulton District Attorney Fonnie Willis. One of the defendants, Sergio Kitchens, also known as Gunna, was released from jail yesterday after striking a plea deal. Walter Murphy, believed to be a co-founder of Young Slime Life, also pleaded guilty. Williams, meantime, is facing 8 charges himself. Today in court, the judge weighed whether to admit certain evidence the defense called inadmissible because they believe police did not obtain a valid search or arrest warrant. The prosecution saying, meantime, the evidence should be admitted because of Williams' prior arrest back in 2017 on marijuana charges.
The judge found that the entry was unlawful. We don't get to do it again. And Mr. Williams then tried for a year to get back his property. And what did the police do? They tell him, it's the evidence. We're not giving it to you.
We're not talking about a second bite of the apple here. We're talking about him now challenging a search warrant that was not challenged before.
And coming up tonight at 6, the judge is ruling on the motions hearing from today, plus why this trial ultimately could take up to a year to sort out and get a resolution in this case. A trial, meantime, set to start next month.
I had to take a fat ass blanket for Young Thug. This one has like a little sweet taste to it, but not like too sweet.
Took a trip out to the air, told me I'm a woman. She's this crazy dog, was running from me, selling drugs and